Welcome back to Ryan the Rails podcast. I'm Spider, and I'm joined by Justin.
What's up, guys?
So, this episode, we do not have Kenny. He is on vacation right now for his birthday. So, by the time this episode comes out, his birthday would already happen. So, we'll
So
say
let's
happy
wish Kenny a
birthday.
happy birthday.
Yep, happy birthday to Kenny. I hope he enjoys his time on vacation. So it is just me and Justin today. I think we have a pretty good topic to talk about today. Um,
Yep.
we're going to be talking about some gaming news. That's the first episode we did on Ryan the Rails was gaming news, and since there wasn't really any other topic that like stuck out to us, we figured might as well just talk about some games that have come out that weren't out in our first episode, games that are still going to be coming out later in the year that we want to talk about, and some just stuff in gaming news in general.
Yep.
So before we start, how was your week, Justin? I know last time we did not record last week.
Right. Because we were all very busy.
All really busy, so we recorded the week before. So I guess
Right.
I guess in that 2 week span,
Yeah.
what have you been up to?
Well, I'm still been uploading to my channel. I finally finished all of the backlogged videos from like February.
Oh, hell yeah.
So those are now scheduled for upload through the middle of April.
Okay.
And I finally am progressing through the story again for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like I'm like almost done with chapter 13 already.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I recorded 4 more boss fights, so
Okay.
be on the lookout for those. Those will come out later in April.
Okay.
I still have to edit those, but my channel did take somewhat of a downtrend in views. Like my last 3 videos, as of the recording, it had 0 views on my last 3 videos. So if you guys could do me a huge favor, do give my videos some love and appreciation. Also, feel free to leave a comment, not just on this video, but also on all of our channels.
Yep.
Let us know what else you want to see.
Yeah. I will say I think that's the case for all of us. Because the last podcast episode that had the most views was the Destiny one, which is
Yeah, that one has over 100
Yeah.
views on my channel.
Yeah, I have 81, and I think Kenny has like 115 or 120, something like that. So that one was like our best viewed podcast. And then the Pokemon ones didn't do too well. The tier list one did pretty good at 16, and
Mine only got 1.
really. And then the actual pack opening one didn't do too well. So yeah, be sure to comment what you guys want to see, because we're sort of tailored to what people want to watch, and all 3 of us play a lot of games, so it's not going to be like if you tell us to talk about a subject we're not going to know what's going on. We all play a lot of different games, so yeah, as Justin said, be sure to just comment what you guys want to see. All right, for me, the reason I wasn't here or I wasn't available last week was I started a lacrosse practice for a men's team out here in California. And I'm beat up and bruised and hurt because I haven't had physical activity like that in a year.
Lacrosse is also a rough sport.
It very much is. But I had fun. I was looking forward to that. So being able to go out in there and do that again, it was a good time. I've just been playing a lot of games. Playing a lot of Monster Hunter. We'll get into that, which is a game I never thought I'd be playing a lot of, because I didn't even know what Monster Hunter was like a couple months ago. So
yeah,
having really fun with Monster Hunter. Just working,
Yeah, and you got your new job officially.
I did. So I don't know when I'll hear more about it. Got all the formalities and stuff, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let's just jump right into games. So we're gonna be talking about new releases. Like I said at the start, we're gonna be talking about releases that have come out since we recorded that first episode, and then stuff that is still upcoming. And we just have like a list of games that we could talk about. And now some of the new releases I've played, Justin has played, and some of them neither of us have played, or only Justin has. So I think we'll just start going down the list. Assassin's Creed Shadows, Justin, have you played that at all?
No. So I never got into I like growing up, my neighbor played Assassin's Creed, so I know what the premise is for that, but each obviously takes place at a different point in history. Yeah. But I think it was like the golden era of Assassin's Creed when he played. So it was like right around Assassin's Creed 2, 3, and then I know it's taken a downtrend, but you played Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I have.
What do you think? What do you think of the game?
It's fun so far. You know, honestly, I knew it was getting a lot of hate when it was announced and before it had gotten released. I knew it got a lot of hate, and I was sort of on that bus too of it's not going to be good. You know, Assassin's Creed. Like I enjoyed Valhalla, but I know a lot of people didn't, and it was just sort of like, oh, Assassin's Creed hasn't been good for a while. So that's sort of what I took when I started playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. But I absolutely love it. It's such a fun game. Combat's good. The game looks really, really beautiful. Like it's a really good looking game. And I'm really enjoying it. I have about 6 hours so far, so I'm not even that far into the game, but in just those 6 hours, I've had a really fun time. So,
would you say Ubisoft has redeemed themselves with this game in the franchise?
I wouldn't say they redeemed themselves, but it's definitely, I think, going in the right direction for sure. I think, well, because also too, I guess we could talk about this since we're talking about Assassin's Creed. I don't know if you saw, Justin. Tencent actually bought a part of Ubisoft.
I think I did hear that they were trying to. I did not know it was official.
Yes, it is official. They bought, I think, Assassin's Creed, Rainbow, and one other Ubisoft franchise. And Ubisoft itself is only going to focus on The Division.
Oh, okay. So Tom Clancy.
Yes, and Wildlands like that. Yeah, just literally Tom Clancy games. So,
all right.
I don't know what that means for Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six. And I think Rainbow is included in that because it's a Tom Clancy thing. But I don't know what that means for Ubisoft games going forward. But I think it's a right direction. They're pointing in the right direction for Assassin's Creed games.
I know Ubisoft had acquired the Driver franchise a while back, and the last big game that was released was Driver San Francisco back in 2011. So I have no idea.
One of my favorite all-time games. It is such a niche game, and it's crazy you brought that up because I remember playing Driver San Francisco so much. I don't know why I played that game so much. It was such a simple aspect to the game. You just switch. You're just going to a body of a different driver. But man, it was so much fun.
It was a different mechanic compared to games in the past with the franchise. And as of now, the franchise has been kind of dormant.
Yeah, I would love to see another driver game. Like I said, Driver San Francisco was really fun. So.
Yeah, fans did make a PC port for Driver 2, which was only released on PlayStation. So yeah, but you had to actually own a copy of Driver 2 in order to download the files and so on and so forth. That's a whole complicated process.
Oh, I bet.
So, yeah. So hopefully they bring it back.
That would actually be awesome. Like you said, I don't think they will though because it was such a niche game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely love Driver San Francisco. Probably one of my a PS3 title, probably a top 10 for me.
All right.
So moving on, Monster Hunter. Now I know Justin, we were actually talking about it before we started. Apparently, I didn't know this because like I said, I had just gotten into the Monster Hunter franchise, and of course I don't really play Metal Gear Solid that much. But Justin was telling me that there was a Monster Hunter event in Metal Gear Solid. What game was it?
It was Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and there were crossover extra ops missions. So you actually had to unlock them in a specific way. You had to listen to some guy's cassette tape conversations with Snake, the main character. Mm-hmm. Snake, aka Big Boss. And once you did that, you would unlock the first crossover mission, and that first one was against Rathalos.
Yep.
Which that one was actually really cool.
Red Dragon, dude.
You can either use tranquilizer guns to like get it non-lethally, and if you did that, you actually get a Rathalos camo.
Oh, that's
sick. That you could use in game.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, or you can just use rocket launchers on it and just kill it.
That's sick.
And then they also had the Tigrex. That was another camo. Yeah. It was another monster you faced, and then if you defeated that non-lethally, you'd get the camo. And then on top of that, they created their own monster based on Metal Gear Rex, and they just called it Gear Rex.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a difficult boss, though.
So yeah, I actually, a couple months ago when people were talking about Monster Hunter Wilds, I remember I was like, I of course I knew what Monster Hunter was, but I had never played it before, never even watched any gameplay of it. And my buddies at work were talking about the beta that was coming out, and so I downloaded the beta and I had a good time. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm really gonna buy the full game though, because I don't know if I'm really gonna have that much fun. And then a couple of my buddies bought it, and I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and buy it, and I'll see if I even like it. I might not even end up playing it that much. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I already have 40 hours in that game.
Damn.
I absolutely love Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't even know. Probably in the last year or so, probably one of my favorite games to play. Something about it, just like hunting monsters and the gear and making your own gear and armor and stuff. Something about it. It's just like Destiny, really. So that collect stuff, build up your armor, upgrade your armor type deal. So I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. I know it's highly rated right now. People are having a good time with it. And then actually, at the time of this video going up, the first big update is coming out. It comes out on Friday. Nice. So I know when I get home from work, I'm going to be playing that update. Because they're adding the Gathering Hub, which is a thing people wanted they thought should have been in the game at launch. It's just a way to hang out with 16 other players in the lobby.
Oh, nice.
And then they're adding, I don't remember the monster's name, Metsuzune, I think is how you say it. It's like a water dragon.
Ooh.
It looks like a Chinese New Year dragon. Mitsune.
Oh,
Mitsune.
okay.
That's her name. Looks like a Chinese New Year dragon, and that's like the first big monster they're adding. And then they're adding like Arch Tempered, which is like the hardest type of monster. They're adding their very first Arch Tempered monster later in April, so I'm looking forward to that. And because I, as a side note, I bought a Wii U. Was it last week? Is that when I said that, Justin? Last week is when I bought it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I bought a Wii U.
What games have you been playing on that?
Been playing a lot of Wii Party U.
Ooh.
Funny enough. But the reason I brought it up is because they have a Monster Hunter on the Wii U, and I downloaded it. I'm not going to say how I downloaded it or what I did to my Wii, but I downloaded it, and I've been playing. What is that Monster Hunter on the Wii? Is it 4?
I think, because now they closed the shop on that.
Oh, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
Oh, okay.
So I downloaded that, and I've been meaning to. I keep getting distracted, and I haven't played it. But I did download Monster Hunter 3 on the Wii U. And I also downloaded Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS. So I'm trying to go back and play the older games just because I'm having so much fun with it.
Yeah, and you get to learn more about the franchise in the process.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to going back and playing those games, and then just the Monster Hunter for the future. So. Sniper Elite Resistance. Now, if you guys didn't know, both myself and Justin are big Sniper Elite fans. We love the series. Justin has actually played all the games, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
right?
not all of them, but I've played. My dad has the third one, and I've played through like a very little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't start getting into it till like 4.
Okay.
My dad had gotten it for me for Christmas one year, and I was hooked.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember I watched videos on 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I watched videos on 2 and 3, and I never played it before then. But then 4 came out. I think was 4 the one that we played together for the first time.
Yep.
Because I think I told Justin, like, yeah, I downloaded a game called like Sniper Elite 4 or something. It looks cool. And he's like, oh, I got that game. There's like a co-op mode. And so we played through the co-op campaign of 4.
Yep.
And then when 5 came out, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
3, 4
and
maybe 2020, if I'm even being realistic. I think it came out around then.
It was,
or maybe 2021.
Something like that. It was. I remember getting my copy of that right around the time you were visiting me and Kenny.
2022 is when it came out.
Yes.
Which actually adds up because May 26th, and that's around when I came out.
Yep. So I remember I ordered that one off of Amazon,
mm-hmm.
and the game came in much earlier than expected to my mailbox, and you happened to be
that's right.
at my house at that
I was
time,
there when it came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I got home, I ended up buying it. When I got home.
Right when I opened it, I noticed I had the UK rating system on it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, that's right. The Peggy.
The Peggy.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So me and Justin played through 4 and 5. Did we finish 5? I don't think we did.
We did, but we never played the expansions.
That's right, and we kept meaning to go back because originally I have videos on my computer. I could say this about so many games. I have videos on my computer that I've been wanting to upload, and just because I'm lazy and I'm busy all the time, I just never get around to uploading them. I think I have our entire Sniper Elite 5 series on my content drive.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want Spider to edit them and release them, or if you just want the raw footage.
Right. Honestly, and it's a little bit harder now because I think around that time, Justin, I think you were just up finishing school. You just graduated, right?
I had just finished grad school.
Yeah, you had just finished grad school, and it was right before you got a job, like a actual job. So it was easier for us to play.
Yeah.
But I would be down to go back and replay 5 and the DLCs if you guys are interested. It would just be hard because we got to find a time that's available for both of us. But if you guys want to see that, I know me and Justin would love to go back and replay that.
We do plan on playing Resistance.
We do plan on playing Resistance. Now, I don't actually know too much about Sniper Elite Resistance. I don't know what...
Yeah, Carl's not the main character in this game, from what I saw.
I did see that, and I think... I don't even know the story, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't even... Do you play?
I just know it's during World War II.
Do you play as one character?
I think. I don't know too much about it, but I'm sure we'll be surprised once we play it.
Yeah. So eventually, I will be buying it and playing it, and probably the same thing, say for Justin.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see that too, make that a series because I know we have a fun time playing it. It's funny because I think we restart quite a bit because we try to do it silently.
We try to go stealth, and it just doesn't always work out.
Doesn't work out, and then it turns into literally World War II because we just get descended upon by every single enemy on the map. So I know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Sniper Elite Resistance. It's cool. We have a different main character. So yeah. If you guys want to see that, be sure to leave a comment. MLB 25.
MLB The Show 25. You got it.
I did.
And I haven't gotten it yet, but I plan on getting it because I've seen they've made so many changes to the game.
Oh yeah.
So tell me, what did they add?
So I remember back with MLB 21 for myself. I played MLB 21 so much. That was my freshman year of college when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, especially with my one buddy who was living in the fraternity house with me, we would go down to the basement. We would both bring our PlayStation 4s down, bring them down to the basement, hook up our TVs next to each other, and just play MLB Diamond Dynasty. Not even with each other. We would just play Diamond Dynasty for hours, grinding, getting cards, and just playing the game.
Yep.
And then 22 came out. 22 came out, I remember, when I was at your house again.
Yep.
And I think I played it, or it didn't come out because I think it came out in March. But I remember, I downloaded it on my Switch. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that, and you were playing that a ton because there was like an event coming out, and you wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and I needed to get some cards because I think there was, what MLB does is that they have like events and stuff that come out that if you can get free cards in the shop, or they have a sale on really good cards, and there was one of those going on, and I really wanted to get one of the cards, so I ended up just
they have different programs that come out.
Yeah,
and you play through the program.
And so I wanted to play through it and get the cards because there was a limited time card pack, and I was like, all right, I gotta buy it before I could play it, because by the time I would have gotten home, it would have been over. Mm-hmm. And then 3, you probably remember this one because I think 3 was the last one you really played, right?
That was the last one I played, and you could find that game actually did pretty well on my channel. That's actually how my channel kind of blew up.
Oh, hell yeah.
There was one video called Lindor Lifts Off in the Bronx. That video has over 6,000 views.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, so MLB 23, the reason why I think it's probably one of the most hated MLB games in recent memory. Because they made a change to Diamond Dynasty that's probably one of the worst changes ever made. So
what was that change?
So if you're not familiar with Monster Hunter, Jesus Christ, MLB, how Diamond Dynasty works is that, like as you said, there's programs and different like game modes and stuff that you do to build up your team, and they have these different cards. So you have, like, in the most recent game, you have the Tokyo Series card, you have the New Threads card, which is for people who have players who have changed teams, that type of thing, and they each have a different card that's
they also had Kaiju and World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic. I know one of the they get the All-Star cards at the All-Star break, that type of stuff.
Yep.
And normally you take the entire year or life cycle of an MLB game to build up your team. So by the I think we start getting 99s by the World Series.
Yeah.
Maybe not the World Series. Maybe the start of January. No. Yeah. I think the World Series is about right. You start getting 99 cards, and you play them, and so by the time the life cycle of MLB is over, you have worked that entire year to build up a good 99 team. Well, in 23 and 24, they made it to where every season reset your team. So in season 1 of 23, that was around when the World Baseball Classic happened.
Right.
And so they had a 99 Lindor. You remember that card?
I remember from the World Baseball Classic. I actually bought that off an auction.
Oh, really?
I had saved up a lot of points.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think I did the same with Aaron Judge.
So they already had 99s, and I think that was right when the game came out in March. They already had 99s. Because the whole aspect was that you build up your team in that season, and you can get a 99 team for season 1. And then as soon as season 2 started, your team got wiped. You could still use your 99 cards in, what was it, the offline modes.
Yep.
But you couldn't use them in online. You had to use a season 2 team. I think it was how it worked. It was season 1 and 2 you could still use cards.
Yep.
And then as soon as we hit season 3, you can no longer use season 1 cards.
Yeah, and that really put you off, I remember.
Yeah, and so it basically reset your team every season because you couldn't use the same cards. Like the 99 Lindor was probably one of my favorite cards, and come season 3, I couldn't even use it.
Yeah, that's a shame. But I did enjoy 23 mainly because I only played offline.
That is true. I only play offline too, but it was still just when I did play online, it just sucked. And then 4 Same thing. It was that stupid seasons thing. And then 5, they got rid of that. We're back to the normal. You got to slowly build up your team.
Yep.
And that's probably one of my favorite aspects of just, not, oh man, I already have a 99. It's like, oh, my best team right now is just consisted of like 88s. I think that's a max card. Maybe an 89 is the best card you can get that isn't a live series or one of the like full collection cards. So MLB, I'm having a good time with it. It's back to its former glory already. So
yeah, I skipped 24 because I had been told that it was basically like a $70 DLC, and I'm like, no, thank you. So I skipped last year's game.
The only reason I played last year was because it was free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I think that's why Kenny got it too.
So, yeah, MLB, I was having a fun time with it, and so I'm hoping, Justin, when you get it, we can do our online games again.
Yeah, that should be soon actually. So I should be getting MLB The Show soon.
Okay, so we're playing that soon. Now, I think we're about 20 minutes. Civ 7. I know I was the only one that I think was excited for the Civ 7. I don't think
I've never played any Civilization games. But I think my roommate has played one of them, or maybe I'm thinking of City Skylines.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Kenny has played any of them. I haven't played Civ 7 for one of the only reasons being that I heard it wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
And I still plan on getting it because I do like the Civ series. I played a lot of Civ 6. But I just heard it wasn't that good. There was a lot of like just quality of life things that need to be added. Like one of the things I heard was that that your characters, or like the little people you move around, like the builders, the scouts and stuff, they blend in so well to the like environment, you end up losing them.
Oh,
because you can't see them.
Oh, damn.
And so there's just stuff like that, and I heard there was some aspects that's just like, just go play Civ 6 and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait to get it. So it's fun. I do like I said, I do plan on getting it. I do like it, but it is one of those games too where you need to sit down for multiple hours on end to play one game, and I don't necessarily like to spend my time like that.
Right.
Where, in college, Civ 6, I'd have weekends where I didn't need to do a single thing, or I'd be done with classes by noon, and I could just sit and play Civ.
Yep.
Whereas now it's just not that possible, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Schedule 1. Have you heard of it?
I had only heard of it recently when you brought it up in a group chat. Okay. That was the first time I had heard of it, and you had mentioned that it's a PC game.
It is a
so
PC
tell
game.
Me more about that.
So, Game of the Year. No,
Game of the Year?
Just kidding. It's one of those games, no one knew anything about it. I didn't even know it was a thing, and it just took. I don't think it's like super pop. I could be wrong. But it's not. But it took the sort of co-op, like repo, lethal company, sort of just here's content warning. Here's a game you never heard of. It's super fun, and multiplied it by 10. I don't know what I can and can't say on YouTube. Their rule system is weird.
Yeah. So
let's just say you make cotton candy and little green leaf things. It's a production game, and you sell your candy to people.
You're basically the CEO of a street company.
Yes. Super fun. It's super... what's funny is that... Now, Justin, would you think a game like this... I don't know if you've looked at it, but...
No.
If you see images of it, you 100% would look at it and be like, oh, I bet that game, super easy. There's no thought put into it. But it legitimately, you have to think about logistics and like everything. Like it's an actual company. It's crazy.
Wow. All right.
Like it's really in depth for absolutely no reason. Just last night, me and my buddy, we played from about 7 o'clock at night to about midnight.
Damn, 5 hours.
5 hours, and it's just a fun game. Even by myself, I was playing it, and it's still like it's definitely a lot better with friends, as a lot of games are. But
Yep.
by myself, I was having a good time with it. So I would recommend checking it out. I don't think it's too heavy of a game, so I would recommend checking it out if your computer can handle it. But like I said, it's not too.
Yeah,
crazy.
my for people that don't know, my laptop's from 2021, and currently I plan on building a PC, but the problem is prices are expensive and demand is really high for computer parts.
That is true. I will say though, Justin, it's not. I don't think it's as crazy as you think it is.
Really?
I mean, I know it's still a little pricey, but I was able to, because my computer, went to crap. It died.
Yep.
And I was able to build up a brand new one for about, and a really, really good one too, for about $1,500.
All right.
I know that's not. I know that's still pricey.
I'll have to ask you more about that later.
Yeah, I know it's still pricey, but it's not like a lot of people are thinking PC is like, oh, it's gonna take $5,000. It only cost me about $1,500. So.
Right. All right.
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think we talked about. I don't think we actually talked about that in the first.
Yeah,
episode.
that's a new one on me. I've never heard of that.
So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, or just Kingdom Come Deliverance in general, it's like a medieval role playing game.
Oh.
I haven't played the second one. I just started playing the first one because of the second one coming out, and it was free. The first one. It's basically you live the life. The first one, at least, I don't know what the story of the second one is. The first one is you're like the son of a blacksmith. Your village gets attacked by an army. You have to escape, and you slowly start building up your reputation to become, I think, lord or king.
Oh wow!
And there's like you worry about how you dress. If you have a meeting with a lord or something, you got to dress in proper attire, and if you don't, you're not going to come off as smart and stuff. Like your appearance takes into account. You have to shower, you have to eat, you have to train. Like it's an in-depth game. And I've been having a fun time with the first one. I know the second one had some controversy with, I think, AI. With NPCs.
Oh. So AI voice acting.
Yeah, and I see that's where I'm at a crossroad, because you're taking away a job from a voice actor, right? But AI gives NPCs unlimited interaction, basically.
Wow.
Huh?
I said wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. But Kingdom Come Deliverance is a fun game, and it's very in depth. I don't know how much I'm gonna play of it. I don't know if I'm gonna get the second one, but yeah, I know that's a new game that just came out. All right, last one for new releases, and if we miss anything, comment down below. But I think this is mostly like the big ones that have come out. I know a lot of games have come out, but these are just sort of like the big ones I know people have been talking about. Last one.
All right, let's just Repo.
As you could tell, we love Repo. We have an entire podcast episode in Repo.
Yeah, that was the last one. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go ahead, check it out. It's actually pretty funny.
My internet died.
Penny released, your internet literally hit the bed at the end.
Right at the end. So.
And Kenny just put out a video, so check out his channel on Kinetic TV. For that video. It is one of the funniest videos you'll ever watch. He also did release some shorts.
Yeah.
So check those out as well.
Yeah. But Repo, again, in the same vein as Schedule 1, just one of those games no one knew about. Like, it wasn't talked about. No one even knew what was going on with it. And then it just took us by storm. Like it's so funny that I don't know if I like it or I think I like it. Just these type of games that no one hears about, not like or hate Repo, but just those type of games that come out, you don't hear anything about it, and then it comes out and it just is like everyone's playing it.
Yeah, indie games just in general just go under the radar.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I think in the past 2 years we've had a lot of good indie games that maybe people would have known about, like Repo, Lethal Company, Content. Where granted, all three of those games are in the same sort of collect something, escape, make money, and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems that formula is working. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah, it's working for it.
I can honestly see a AAA game of that coming out in the near
Yeah.
future. And then of course,
I think it could do well if it was a AAA game, as long as it's done correctly.
Yeah, and then of course, Repo and its what game was I thinking of? Schedule 1. That's a little different, but for the most part, these indie games coming out, completely taking the world by storm. I think I've played every single one. I've played Lethal Company, Content Warning, Repo, and of course Schedule 1, and they're all fun. Maybe they don't keep the engagement for as long as a AAA game would, because I think Lethal Company, it's not as popular as it once was. It's Content Warning, but it's just one of those games. You're bored, you don't have anything to do. What do? Let's go play Repo. Let's go play Lethal Company. So.
Yep.
And I know. Have you played Content Warning?
I have not, but I would be totally down to play with you and Kenny, because there was that one video I watched on Kenny's TikTok. I'm not going to say what Angelo said, because
let's just say he had a talk with Chris Hansen, all right?
Oh yeah. Let's go with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I know Kenny would probably be down to play some Content Warning, so we definitely got to give that a try.
Yeah, definitely give that another try. I think, because I would totally be down to try it.
Yeah, it's super fun.
That game absolutely hysterical.
So that's all the new releases that we sort of wanted to talk about. The stuff that has come out that we've either played or heard about. Now we're going to be talking about new releases or upcoming releases, just how we did in the first episode. We're not going to harp as long on them, just because it's just sort of like a recap on what's coming out.
But there are some new ones on here.
There are some new ones that weren't talked about last time. So we have that to talk about. So starting off, right off the bat, you see it in the thumbnail, and you see it as the image in the podcast. GTA 6, again, probably going to be one of the most, I think is one of the most hyped games. Actually, is one of the most hyped games from a poll.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited for it. It's going to be probably one of the best games that come out, because Rockstar normally always is a hit, never a miss.
They always take their time to make a good quality product, and so we expect a lot from that.
Yeah, and so I know we're all excited about it. When it comes out, you'll probably be seeing streams and videos, honestly, from all of us, because I think that's a game we're all gonna get.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. Now this
Sure.
one, I know, Justin, you're super excited for. I'm excited.
Metal Gear Solid Delta.
I'm excited because I get to experience it for the first time.
Yeah. So, did you play Metal Gear Solid 3?
I did not. I played the oldest Metal Gear Solid I played was, I believe, 2, and it's the one that takes place in the cargo ship.
Okay, that's part of it. There's also the tanker chapter, and then there's the plant chapter.
Yeah. I played the tanker, because I think, is that the game where it starts off with like a hooded figure on a bridge or something, like the cutscene.
Hooded figure. Yeah. So the ship gets hijacked by a Russian group.
Yeah, and that's the game I played. I remember playing that when I was a kid. So that's the oldest Metal Gear Solid I played. So I have not played 3.
Okay, highly recommend playing 3. So you could probably get the Master Collection Volume 1 at a probably discount. I don't know what it looks like on the PlayStation Store, but you can also play it on. You can also play it on. So Master Collection has Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and also the games that predated Metal Gear Solid 1. They were Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake.
Okay.
And definitely recommend getting those, because you'll want to know parts of the story before you hop into Delta.
Okay. Is Delta just 3?
Delta's just the remake of 3.
Okay.
Yeah, Delta's just the remake of 3, so enhanced graphics.
Okay.
I think they're keeping the voice lines the same, the storyline the same.
So basically on the same lines of like the remakes of like Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, it's just they're changing the, I guess, the action and stealth aspect of it.
Okay.
So the dynamic might be a bit different, but the story's the same.
Okay.
But I do recommend playing 3. So if the Master Collection's on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and you could get it on PC.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I'm excited for it just because, like I said, I never got to experience the original, and it sounds like I might, on my free time. But Metal Gear Solid Delta is just one of those games, like it seems like a lot of old games are getting remastered. Like I just said, Resident Evil. Hell, I think we're getting a Resident Evil 5 remake in the next year or so.
Yeah.
I think 2026 or 7, we're getting a Resident Evil 5 remake. So,
all right.
I absolutely love the remake. I never actually played the original Resident Evils, but because of the remakes, I got to experience. Of course, it's a little different, but being able to experience that story in the game because of the remaster, it was fun. I enjoyed the Resident Evil series. So and that's the same terms for Metal Gear Solid, being able to experience it for the first time. So, and a fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, Justin, but the person who mocapped Ocelot, the revolving, him doing all the tricks with the revolvers.
Yep.
That's actually a Japanese guy.
Really?
Apparently, it's actually kind of shows how little I know about the world. Apparently, in Japan, they have a big like American Western culture.
Oh wow!
They my friend showed me at work the other day that they actually have a lot of Western Japanese movies, like old westerns.
That's pretty cool.
And they're actually so good too. Like, they're using katanas in the Old West. It's sick.
That is pretty cool.
And I didn't know that. And that, there's a whole culture of like gunplay, revolvers, using a repeater and doing all these crazy tricks. Apparently, that's a big thing in Japan. I didn't know that. So yeah, the guy who did Ocelot's mocap for all that stuff was a Japanese guy. So, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Now I know you're excited for this, Justin.
Yep, this was very recently announced by Hideo Kojima. Death Stranding 1 came out in 2019.
Yep.
And it got mixed reviews because basically people said it was like a walking simulator.
It is.
And the problem is making a new IP is difficult. I'm hoping Kojima takes the feedback from the first game and incorporates that into the second game. But Death Stranding, the original, actually had a really good story. My only issue with it is that you didn't get weapons until chapter 4.
Really?
You should have gotten it a little sooner.
That is kind of
crazy. You really had to. Yeah, you really had to rely on stealth to get past BTs. So I'm hoping that you get some weapons sooner. But I am looking forward to the storytelling aspect because that's something Kojima is just really strong with.
Yeah, I do know he's just really good at storytelling and building up a storyboard for a game. So I might give it a try. I don't know. I didn't like the first one, so I probably won't get the second one. But if it's on sale or free, I might give it a try. Rainbow. So now this is a weird category, or this is a weird game because it's technically not a new game. Again, also in the thumbnail, Rainbow Six Siege X. Now, the reason it's a weird thing is because it's not a new game. They are just completely overhauling Rainbow Six Siege.
Kind of like what they did with Counter-Strike.
Yes, they are. But yes and no, because Counter-Strike 2, it's its own game.
Right. It came from CS, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, though.
Yeah, yeah. But Rainbow Six Siege X, it's literally, if you own Rainbow Six Siege, you're getting this new update game or whatever. But they're just completely rehauling Rainbow Six Siege. Like, gunplay, movement, like, literally they're remaking the entire game. But still, it's just Rainbow Six Siege. It's not its own new game or anything. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I swear that's sort of what I heard. Is it's basically, it's like a season. It's like any other update, but it's such a huge overhaul. It's basically its own game.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big Rainbow Six Siege guy. I've been playing since the game came out, day one. I played the alpha and the beta of Rainbow Six Siege. I absolutely love the game. You know, sometimes I don't play a lot. You know, sometimes I go a long period of time without playing, but it's a fun series, and I'm excited for X, because I think if you played in 2015, you get like a special reward.
Oh wow! So like, that was right when Siege came out.
Yes, December of 2015 was when Siege came out.
Wow, that's crazy. We're coming up on a full decade.
I know, which is why the name is Rainbow Six Siege X.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now, the last three are a little bit bigger, so we might talk a little bit more on this stuff. Yep. First one is, I think, the biggest one in terms for us, because we play it the most.
Destiny 2. Mostly you and Kenny recently. Me not so much. Not so much for me.
You used to play with us a lot. I know work and stuff, so it's not a big deal. But myself and Kenny, we still play this quite a lot. Destiny 2. We just started Act 2 of Episode 3. What is this episode called? Heresy.
All right.
Heresy Act 2 just came out. We got a new, as you saw in the tier list, we got a new dungeon. Got a whole bunch of new stuff. Guardian games just happened. Now, unfortunately, me and Justin are a little disappointed in the turnout for
I'm a hunter.
Guardian games. I'm also a hunter. We did win last year, though.
That's true.
And as long as Warlocks don't win, as long as the Warlocks don't win.
Kenny will definitely have something to say to that.
But Titans did win, unfortunately, if you guys care about that. But we're talking about Destiny because we are technically getting a new expansion in the summer, or a new game. Basically, it's Rainbow Six Siege situation. We're getting an overhaul to Destiny in the summer. What that means, no one knows. It's still sort of like in the air on what that is. But if I remember correctly, what is the big update or overhaul called? Is it called Frontiers?
I forget, but I think it's the reason why I haven't touched Destiny is, well, one, space on my console, but two, we've talked about this before. Bungie had been drip feeding content for so long, and it was just like I was getting bored of it. So I was like, well, I might as well wait for the next big expansion. So
I will say, episode Heresy, so much fun.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the fight. It's funny because it happens. This is the life cycle of Destiny. They come out with a new, year, new expansion. People played a lot. The expansion, season 1, or, I guess going back, seasons, in this case, episodes. Season 1, people play it, a little bit, but not too much. Season 2, people don't play it hardly at all. And then season 3 draws so many people back, and then a new expansion comes out, and then it's just the whole cycle. I think that's the same thing that's happening right now. Act 1, honestly, it's funny. Act 1 wasn't that good, or episode 1, the one with Maya Sundaresh and the Vex.
Oh, with Echoes?
Yeah, Echoes. Wasn't that fun. Revenant, a little bit better. I think they built on stuff from Echoes. I actually really liked Revenant, but still didn't play it too much. Heresy, we got my boy Oryx back. The voice acting is good, despite some of the voices being gone because of the whole strike that's still happening. But story's good so far. Game, we're getting new games, the new dungeon. We're getting guardian games, events, weapons. We already got the exotic weapon mission already, and I think that came out last act, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which is way earlier than no, it came out in Act 1.
All right.
So it came out like right at the start of the episode, which is weird because it normally doesn't come out till Act 3. So Destiny 2, it's on the up and up again in my opinion. But Destiny Frontiers, this new year expansion thing that's coming out in the summer. People don't really know what it is. People don't know what's entail. We have some of that. You probably have seen it. The art that has come out for like the concept art
here
for
and there.
What they're adding.
Yeah, I've seen it here and there.
So what they're trying to do is, Frontiers is basically a new game, yearly expansion, whatever. So summer 20. I have the roadmap up real quick. Expansion 1, which is coming in the summer of 2025, is codename Apollo. Major update called codename Arsenal. We get a reward pass, and that's in the summer of 2025. The fall of 2025, we get a major update called codename Surge, and that has a reward pass. And apparently, we're gonna get missions, locations, weapons, gear, raids in dungeons. They're changing how armor works and weapons and stuff. I know in the summer we're getting the new raid, whatever that means.
Yep.
So
we'll see what happens with that.
I think we're definitely gonna be playing a lot more Destiny. All three of us, Kenny included. Yep. In the summer, when when Frontiers and Apollo come out, and then the expansion that comes out in the winter is codename Behemoth, and then major update 1 is winter, major update 2 is spring of 2026. So,
all right,
looking forward to that. What does it entail for Destiny's future? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But
we'll just see how they play their cards, Bungie.
So, moving forward, new Battlefield game. I don't know how much Battlefield you played in the past, Justin.
I've only owned Battlefield 1. That was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people, the golden age of Battlefield was like Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
No, Battlefield 5 was when it kind of took a nosedive.
Yeah.
I played the beta for that, and it was just like, it's just Battlefield 1 with World War II stamped on it.
Yeah. So.
And then they came out with another Battlefield 2042. It's gotten better. It's gotten better, but it did not have a good launch.
No.
So EA's got to hit the ground running with this game. Otherwise, Battlefield's in trouble.
It just Battlefield 2042 just kind of started off dead and just never fully recovered.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but that's just what happened.
So on the first episode of the podcast, there was not much known about it. But since then, EA did put something out. So apparently there's 4 different studios all working on the game, but they're working on different aspects of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So DICE is in charge of multiplayer. Another studio is in charge of campaign. Another studio is in charge of like another game mode, and I can't remember what the 4th studio does. I think it might be a testing ground that they're in charge of. But I think the announcement was something called Battlefield Labs.
Yes.
So
basically, what it is it just gives people. It's giving everyone access to the toolkit that DICE and EA that EA has. EA is that who makes Battlefield, right? Like
I think it gives you. Does it give you access to the pre-alpha, or is that something else?
I actually don't know. I think it's something else. I could be wrong though.
But yeah,
it gives you the opportunity to like basically build up your own game. That's what the whole aspect of Labs is that they said.
Oh, okay.
Which is cool because it gives people like me and you the ability to like build a world, build a game mode. Because what they're saying is that you could build game modes, maps, mode, like everything in this labs and play it. But you have the tools that like DICE employees have when they make a Battlefield game.
Which that's really cool.
Yeah.
It sounds really cool. Let's hope they execute it correctly.
There is some leaked gameplay that came out of what it could look like, and it looks like a Battlefield 3-4, like hybrid of, realistic military, gear, shooting. We're getting like old destruction back and stuff like that, which is what a lot of people wanted. So.
And they're bringing back the classic classes because they had negatively overhauled it in 2042 and people didn't like it.
Yeah, in 2042 it's like there are still the 4 classes, but each class you could play as a different character.
Yep.
Which was super weird. I did not like that either. But they're supposed to be going back to just the 4 classes, and then no characters. You just play as that class.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. From what the league gameplay and what we've heard, I think that coming out next year.
I think it's later this year, but
okay.
I think we'll hear more at around E3 or Gamescom.
Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I'm a huge Battlefield nerd. I've been playing Battlefield since 3. Absolutely love 3 and 4. Hell, I just re-downloaded all the old Battlefields on my PlayStation. Hardline 3 or Hardline 4, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, and I just went back and replayed them all recently.
Oh wow.
Honestly, they were all fun. I enjoyed 1 and 5, like the newer Battlefields and stuff. So Hardline,
1.
I was still surprised had people playing it.
Wow, because I know that one got mixed reactions.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1's campaign was really unique in that you had something called wartime stories, which that was really fun.
The campaign was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got different perspectives of the war from different people in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So now, lastly, I think we can add some stuff because we're about to hit the hour mark, so actually not too bad.
Yeah.
So we have rumored. I think it's more so confirmed that we're getting BO7 this year as the next game.
I don't know how I feel about this one, especially since how Activision basically treated the launch of Black Ops 6. Well, it initially launched fine, but it's the post-game support that they've really floundered on, and I think they've just been overworking Treyarch, and that on top of the fact that all the other studios, unlike what Battlefield's doing with all the studios working together, the COD studios do not like working together at all.
Yeah.
So that leads to all different sorts of problems.
Yeah.
But the fact that Treyarch's working on a second year in a row on a game, it's I don't know. That's
so from what I've heard
because
sorry, continue.
Yeah. So we've touched upon in the first podcast episode what the issues with COD were.
Yeah.
And those issues still persisted, and Treyarch and Activision were just very slow to address that. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was due to the fact that Treyarch is working on their next game, but also it's the fact that Activision is super stubborn.
Yeah.
And just is kind of arrogant and don't want to listen to player feedback, and it still has bled a lot of players, especially on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's just one platform, but you can kind of get a sense of how the community's thinking.
Yeah.
But I had been having thoughts of not getting the next COD just because I was sick of Activision's bullshit.
See, I'm the same way too, but I know I'm probably going to end up buying it. I mean,
I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out.
Okay.
See how it plays out. I'm probably going to wait through probably half of season 1 too, just to see how it plays out.
Okay.
Because that's where it seems to be season 1 where things get messy. And if it's not on a good trend, then I would skip that year's COD. So,
yeah.
Though it's also entirely possible I abandon the franchise. That's another thought I've had.
Yeah. See, I know for BO6, I hardly ever touch BO6 as of late. The only reason I go back and even touch it is because of zombies, which BO6 news as the time of this video comes out, Shattered Veil will be out, the newest zombie map. And honestly, the only reason BO6 is, in my opinion, doing well is because zombies.
Yeah, zombies, they've pretty much redeemed themselves.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. I will say, you know, it's not the zombies, you know, I think we all know and love, you know, the BO3, 4 zombies, but it's still a fun zombies. Every time I load up a zombie match, I still have a fun time. But this newest map, Shattered Veil, a lot of people are thinking this might be the best map for a couple reasons. First of all, the map looks really good. I don't know if you've seen images and stuff of it, Justin.
I think I saw the trailer for that recently.
Okay. So
I was like, we'll see how it plays out.
Map looks good. Some of the bigger aspects I think a lot of people are excited for. Double tap, we're finally getting double tap.
That's finally. In my opinion, it should have been in the game at launch, but
we have not had double
better late than never
since freaking Black Ops 3.
That's crazy.
And we're finally getting double tap. Insane. And I think I'm actually really excited to see what the augments for double tap are, to see how you can build up double tap. Double tap, the Ray Gun Mark II is making a return. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
And the wonder weapon that everyone loves, the Wonder Waff.
The Wonder Waff.
Wonder Waff is coming back in Shattered Veil. Map looks good. We're finally getting some Richthofen stuff at the end of the trailer. Richthofen says some lines. I'm excited for this map. I think it probably will end up being the best one. Who knows? You know, I will say though, I think, how many maps do we have? Terminus, Liberty, Citadel, Tomb, and Shattered Veil. Was it 5?
That's gonna be 5 maps.
Yeah, already.
Yeah. Already, so I mean, that's pretty good.
In a normal COD game, we would be at what, 3?
Yeah, by this point in the game's life cycle.
I guess if I'm looking at like BO4 is, I guess, the exception, because BO4 came out with Voyage and Blood. Came out. Yeah, that
3. Came out with like 3, and if you pre-ordered and got the Black Ops Pass, you got classified, so that's 4. It came out
with 4 already, so that is kind of crazy to think about. But still, even for like BO6, we're already at 5 maps, and we still have, I think they're saying we're going to get another 3 or something like that. So
yeah,
we're going to get
I mean,
8 total maps, which is kind of nuts.
That's pretty good.
But sticking with zombies, we got some leaks for zombies next year.
Black Ops 7.
Black Ops 7 Zombies.
That's the rumored Call of Duty game. We don't know what it's actually going to be called, but
it's heavily implied.
It's heavily implied, though, that it's going to be Black Ops 7.
But we don't know for sure. That is true.
Right.
This is also heavily implied, but a lot of this stuff is heavily implied because we don't have absolutely anything. But, you know, looking at code and, you know, people getting leaks from the inside, you know, it's heavily implied, BO6. But it's also heavily implied we're getting kind of a crazy map in BO7 for zombies. We're going to space on a space station.
That's crazy because the last time we did that was Moon.
Moon, that is right. I mean, technically you could count. You can technically count Infinite Warfare and Beast from Beyond. That was in space.
I did not play Beast from Beyond. Okay. So
I
didn't buy Infinite Warfare either. So
that is true. That is technically the last time we went to. No, well, yeah, that was technically the last time we went to space. Was Beast from Beyond, which you could count it or not. It's whatever. But yes, the last time we really, I guess, went to space was Moon being Chronicles. Technically, this last appearance.
Yep.
Don't know anything else about it. There is one more thing we'll get to here in a sec. That's like a really big news. But map-wise, that's all we really know. Set on a space station, and apparently it's set right after, like it's an alternate timeline where there's a space station right after World War II or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something crazy like that. I don't even know how that works. Which
I don't know.
I mean, granted, it's like we're trying to act for realism when Origins was set in 14?
It was World War One.
Yeah, 1914. You had giant robots walking around the map, so you can't really ask for realism. But yeah, looking for I don't know. We don't have anything about it. But one of the bigger things that me and Chester were talking about before because I think this was like one of the first things we sort of discussed when we knew we were going to do a gaming thing and zombies. They might be bringing back the old crew, the premise crew.
Which that's crazy to me. I don't know how exactly they would do it because the regular Ether stuff, that's done.
Yeah.
So this would all have to be Dark Ether, new stories. How would they reintroduce Takio, Nikolai, and Dempsey?
Yeah. But also another problem that comes to this is unfortunately the voice actor for Takio, he contracted throat cancer. So he no longer is in voice acting. Unfortunately, which is really, really saddening. Love that voice actor.
It's very saddening.
But what are they gonna do for his voice? A lot of people are concerned AI. I know I'm concerned about it.
I wouldn't necessarily want to have him recasted, but I think they might have to.
I'd much rather have a recast than AI.
Yeah, I'd rather have a recast than AI.
But then again, it's like it's nothing against voice actors who take on roles that are well known. Nothing against Samantha's voice actor. That whole thing with the strike and her taking a leave of absence. I get it. Nothing against the new person who is voicing Samantha and Sam, the AI in BO6, but it's just not Sam. It's not the Sam we grew up with. Nothing against her. She's doing a great job. But that's also going to be the same thing for Takio. No offense to whoever takes over Takio. They're probably deserve to be in that role. They're a good voice actor for a reason, but it's just like it's not his voice actor.
Yeah, because I know they had to do the same thing going back to Destiny. Zavala,
but that is something that they, I think a lot of people did not mind the choice of.
They knew they had to recast them.
Which again, that is also very unfortunate passing. So, but what's the new voice actor's name? I know he voices. He does voice in Call of Duty. Actually, it's funny you brought that up. He I think he voices. What's his name? He voices. He's like, get to the burger shot, soldier, or get to the yeah. He's like, get to Burger Town, soldier, in Modern Warfare 2. What is his name? I'll look this up.
I forgot.
But yeah, just I think it's just you have to find Keith David. That's his name.
Okay.
I didn't even look that up. I just remembered that. I'm still trying to find out who he voiced in Call of Duty. But yeah, they just have to find the right voice actor. He played Sergeant Foley in Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay.
And he's the guy who said, "Ramirez, get to the roof of the burger place."
Yep.
Iconic voice line. But yeah, you just have to find the right voice actor. That's gonna be hard.
Yep.
So who knows how that's going to work out. But, we'll see. Again, this is all speculative. We don't know if this is actually going to happen. We may not even be getting Black Ops 6. Or BO7, sorry.
Yeah, so it's possible they call it something else.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, unless is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think honestly we could wrap it up. Right where we have it. I think we've pretty much touched upon everything.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Maybe something we could just discuss real quick, but I think you're right. I think Oh, duh. They announced the Switch 2. That's a whole big thing.
Oh yeah,
Good lord.
I almost forgot about that. That's sometime this year.
That's crazy. I don't know. Yeah. So Switch 2. We'll talk about that just real quick. That's crazy. We completely forgot that big thing. So Switch 2 is coming out, I believe, in June.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-orders.
Yep.
Pre-orders start in April, and there's already
Yep.
some confirmed games, like we said. Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out, and then we got one of the bigger games that I'm excited for, because I've been playing it a lot, is Tomodachi Life.
Tomodachi. Okay.
Tomodachi Life on the 3DS is one of the main reasons why I got a 3DS, besides the Pokemon games. And I love Tomodachi Life, and never thought in my lifetime that I would see them releasing another Tomodachi Life. But we're getting Tomodachi Life Living the Dream in 2026 for the Switch too. So I'm excited for that. I think they actually showed more gameplay of Pokemon ZA2 in the Nintendo Direct. But yeah, Switch 2 is coming out this year. Confirmed release date in June. Oh, can't believe I almost forgot that.
Yeah. And also, if you remember from the Microsoft acquisition of Activision, they made a deal with Nintendo to release Call of Duty on Nintendo, which I think will be for this next console.
Yes.
What do you think they would do title-wise? Do you think they would give a mainstream Call of Duty, or do you think they'll like port Call of Duty Mobile or something?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That has left me with more questions than answers, because it's like Nintendo targets casual gamers on purpose.
Yeah.
They don't target the hardcore gamers directly. So it's hard to say what exactly they'll do with what Activision will do with the Call of Duty franchise on Nintendo consoles moving forward due to the Microsoft acquisition. So that's something we'll have to stay tuned and find out.
Yeah, I don't know. There's still a lot of stuff to be known. That is a good, I think it would be cool to maybe go back and play the older CODs on the Switch, like World at War, BO1.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, they could make their own servers on it or something.
Yeah, or just make it like a single thing. I don't know, that'd be cool. All right, you want to play some BO2 Zombies on the Switch? But it's also too, like, it's the same aspect of processing power, because that's another thing why people don't necessarily like the Switch, which is funny because it's a handheld device. It's not meant to be like super powerful. So the Switch 2 has the processing power of a PS4 Pro.
Oh, okay.
Which
PS4 Pro.
Which
yeah, that's like last gen hardware.
Yeah, but you have to realize this is a handheld console.
Yeah, technically it's like a hybrid console, but it has to have the capabilities of handheld.
So people are like, oh, it's stupid that it has the capabilities of a PS4
Pro, but it kind of has to,
because not only is it it has to be handheld. If it had if it had the ability to the hardware of a PS5, it would be so much more expensive, and people would complain about the price.
Oh yeah, and Nintendo does not want to price people out. That's the last thing they want to do.
I think they said that the ESRP for the Switch 2, I think, is $400.
Okay.
Let me look that up real quick. Which that's not crazy. I don't even know. Let me look up Switch 2 price real quick. Oh, we don't even have a price yet. People are rumoring that it's going to be about $400.
All right.
So, but then if you had the capabilities of granted, I will say that is the price of a PS5, like a normal one, or the Slim. So, but if you want a handheld console that can play a lot of games and stuff, that is that has the trademarks of Nintendo, like Pokemon, Mario, stuff like that, then it's probably worth it. But anyway, getting sidetracked.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it. Switch 2, bunch of good games coming out this year. A lot of games that have already been out that a couple of us have been playing. So yeah, next week we should all be back, and
all three of us.
All three of us will be back, and we won't have to record another episode without one another, I think, until the following week. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah, Kenny will be back next week. He'll be back from vacation, and we'll be back to the three of us. So. Well, thank you guys for watching. Be sure, as we said at the beginning, leave a comment. If you, depending on what type of topic you guys want us to talk about. This is tailored to you guys, for you to enjoy listening to it in your daily life or whatever. So if you want to hear about us talk about a certain topic, leave a comment, like it, and for that, the YouTube algorithm, we could talk about you. That's another actually pretty good topic. Talk about YouTube next week.
Yeah, the YouTube algorithm, that could be another topic.
YouTube algorithm and the whole deal with that update. Again, going off on a tangent. You see about that the YouTube update that's coming out in May that's going to ruin ad revenue for YouTubers?
I did not. I have to look into that. So we can still save that for another.
Yeah, look into that when you get a chance. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Tune in next week when all three of us will be here, and we will talk to you guys later.
All right. Peace.